Yes, it's a great model kit, but that doesn't mean I need all 40 of them. Hey guys, Kakarot197 again. This time with a review of the 1/44 scale high-grade after colony Maganac from the Gundam Wing series. While I'm waiting for my sand truck to arrive, I thought why not have a look at the Maganac in the meantime. Because even though the Maganac isn't necessarily developed from the sand truck, it definitely took some design cues from the sand truck. They both have this very armored Middle Eastern look to them. And the color is definitely a nice complement to it. The brown, orange, and beige really makes this thing feel like a desert machine. And in order to achieve this color, you will have to do very little painting by yourself. Things such as the thrusters on the feet, on the side skirts, then the grooves on the yellow armor on the chest, you'll have to paint that brown. Another bigger thing that you'll have to paint, but that we do get a sticker for, is the yellow on the shoulders. This is on both sides. Then we also get a very nice metallic sticker for the mono eye. Other than the normal stickers, we also get some marking stickers. And I gotta say, that is a very cool looking font. Then the final thing that I have to mention about the base model kit before moving on to the accessories is that, as with all of Bandai's model kits, they did an excellent job of hiding the seam lines. The only real visible one is on the top of the torso. So then, moving on to the accessories, starting off with a very simple beam rifle. It's essentially two halves slapped together, a barrel on it, and then we get a very nice metallic pink sticker for it. Unfortunately, that also means that you will have to paint the ammo pack that goes on the bottom, and you can also not remove the ammo pack. But putting that aside, it fits into the hand absolutely perfectly and does look great in action poses. Even though we don't get any optional hands such as open palm hands or something to make them a bit more dynamic. Next up we have the shield. Just as with the beam rifle, it's a pretty simple design, two pieces slapped together, and you will once again have to do a little bit of painting. The stripes here are beige stickers, so you'll have to paint that, and then the back will have to be painted gray. In order to mount it on the Maganac, we get this brace. It has two pegs on it, so you can mount it on either side, and of course you can mount it on either arm. Another cool feature of the shield is that you can also store the beam rifle on it. Although it is a bit on the loose side, it should be good enough to fit on there. And then if you grab onto this piece, simply click it onto the shield, turn the Maganac around, and then you can store the shield on the back of the Maganac. Then onto the final accessory that we're getting, the Heat Hawk. Just as with the rest, a very simple construction. This time it's a single piece, meaning that you will have to do a bit of painting on the blade of the Heat Hawk if you want it in active mode. Fits into the hand absolutely perfectly, makes for some really amazing poses, and just as with everything else on the Maganac, you can also store it on the mobile suit itself if you don't want to use it. Simply get this little piece, you click on the Heat Hawk, and this fits very securely. And then again, turn the Maganac around and mount it on the back. And I gotta say, I always enjoy it when a mobile suit or a model kit just goes that little extra mile and makes sure that all of the weapons can actually be stored somewhere on the machine. With the accessories out of the way, let's have a look at the articulation of this thing. The head has the usual ball joint hinge combo, although because of the design, you're not gonna get a whole lot out of it. It goes a little bit forwards and backwards, and then sideways movement is very much limited to this. The mono eye itself also does not move. And the arms are significantly better, at least in the shoulder. Will rotate around all the way, forwards on a hinge and ball joint combo, backwards also nicely, up all the way like that. And then this shoulder armor will also go up nicely. This piece here is also articulated on a hinge, goes up nicely like that. Then the elbow is a little bit disappointing because it looks like it would and should be a double joint, but in fact it is just a single joint, but still goes pretty far for being a single joint. Then the hand is on a ball joint, wiggles around, turns around, and does everything that a ball joint does. On the waist, we get 2 ball joints, although the bottom one is mostly used for rotation, whereas the top one will give us some really nice forwards and backwards movement, and will of course also wiggle around. Then onto the skirt armor. The front skirts are as always molded together but can be separated, allowing for some really nice forwards movement. Backwards, not quite as much because this very nice back skirt does not move whatsoever. Outwards, they also go Outwards also goes really nicely until the side skirts pop off at least, and then when we have a look at the underside, we will see a hole that is used for an action base, and there's also some extra swivel movement for the legs for extra dynamic poses. Then the legs will also rotate around quite far, bend at the knees on 2 joints. This time these things aren't fake. And then the feet are just as the head on the hinge ball joint combo. So it will go forwards really nicely, backwards really nicely, side to side on that ball joint, and will also rotate around on the ball joint and wiggle around a little bit. So overall, the Maganac has some pretty solid articulation with a few things that could have been better. As always, the inevitable question is, do you want to buy this? And well, for 1,200 yen, I would say, yeah. You're getting a very nice and unique mobile suit with really good articulation, nice accessories, and great army building potential. Whether or not you would want to buy 36 of these things, that I'm gonna leave up to you. Then for some size comparisons, first of all, I thought it was appropriate to put the Maganac next to some machines that Katra used. The high-grade After Colony Wing Zero and the very old no-grade Sandrock. And I'm sorry to say, but I am looking forward to replacing this thing with the new high-grade After Colony Sandrock. Next up, some targets to shoot at, the high-grade After Colony Leo and the old high-grade Serpent Custom. One thing that kind of surprised me is that the Leo is actually a little bit bigger than the Maganac. And talking about size, you might be surprised by how small this thing actually is compared to the standard size Gym Custom and the always bulky Zaku 3. And that's all for this review. I hope you all have a great day. A big thank you to the Patreon supporters, and I will see you all next time.